Well, I just like to go look at Twitter when the Lions are messing up.
But seriously, what do they even have left to tweet about? Punting?
Well, let's throw monsters up there real quick. I know I got you doing a ton of things right now, Sawyer, but monster, I love this because 6 hours ago it says, oh no, I think the stream went down, Sawyer. It says Lions by 50, hashtag one pride, and then it says edit, Lions lose by 50.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts coming in today? Were you confident?
I was hopeful.
Well, I know you're always hopeful. Sam, come on. That's not, I didn't ask that. Uh-oh. Shout out to Samir's celebration in the house.
Are we down, Sawyer?
Only on YouTube, I believe.
Oh, all right.
So
sorry, everybody
I know you
else.
were hopeful, pal, but were you confident? Because I honestly was. I thought the team was going to rally around tears and get the first win for Dan Campbell this week, and in fact, it went quite the opposite.
It did go the opposite. Let's get to this other tweet. Let's get to El Padre. Could you throw him up there real quick, Sawyer? It says, honestly, going to stop watching the Lions on Sundays. I've stopped watching the last 2 games. Let me tell you, stress-free, quote, Lions Sundays are great. Who knew Sundays could be stress-free? Have you ever gotten to that point where you're not going to watch the Lions anymore?
Never. I never will.
Good.
I never will.
Yeah.
I never will. I'm becoming more and more realistic, and it pains me. You know, when we go back to our reaction video from the Justin Tucker kick against Baltimore,
right?
That is where I am at, and I hate that I'm at that point. Part of me wishes I was still just ignorantly hopeful. But, you know, at a certain point, you have to be realistic. You have to look at the rosters that we've been fielding for the last 2 decades. And, you know, why I came in with confidence today, I don't know. I'll sit here with you and speak reality, and then I go home in the fridge and I got the cornbread in the cupboard, so.
Well, you figure against the Bengals at home, we would have had a chance to win this game. But let's throw up another tweet. This one.
These aren't your mother's Bengals.
This one's got Dan Campbell crying, and it says, well, if the Lions' Dan Campbell cries at a press conference, I have a feeling that it might just be for the offense.
Yeah, the defense had a little bit of swagger today in the first half, mind you. But again, you keep a team out there for 2/3 of the game, they're going to struggle to come to protect an offense that features a guy like Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and your boy Joe Mixon and Chris Evans even looked amazing today. You know, T. Higgins. They got a lot of weapons, man. You got to keep your defense off the field against a team like the Bengals.
It's can't believe 34-11 to the Bengals. David Barringer says this on Twitter. I'm going to call it. There's no possible way the Lions can lose by a last-second field goal today. And he nailed it. He nailed it. We did not feel that heartbreak.
Yeah. I would prefer that heartbreak. I'll take the heartbreak over this.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because being competitive is what it's been all about.
We went backwards today.
Yeah.
This is the worst
We've been
showing
going backwards. No, the Chicago showing was pretty bad.
Maybe.
But after the first 3 games, we were progressing up. Since
we might have 11 points on the board, but we didn't score any points today.
Yeah.
We didn't score any points today.
No,
we scored points against backups and poor defense. I don't see any kind of progression for the Lions today. They scored no points. They were pathetic in the first half. Their rushing game got exposed. Their defense had swagger, and then they got their neck stepped on because they were asked to do too much yet again.
Yeah. Here's another tweet by Mitchell Buck, and I love this one because I think this is where a lot of Lions fans are right now. It says, #OnePride. It'll be worth it when we have the #1 pick, and then the dog going, this is fine with everything burning around him. And that's where I think a lot of Lions fans are like, all right, we're 6 games in, we're talking about draft picks. And we are the only winless team in the NFL now because Jacksonville won this morning.
Yeah, they did their first win since week 1 of last year.
Yeah.
One of the things I think is important for the people at home, Lions fans all around, is to understand this draft that is coming up, to be honest.
Right.
It's not a strong quarterback class. There was a lot of guys that, had some hype. They're not looking amazing right now.
I don't want Rattler here.
Coral, I like him. He had a great week.
Right.
Boy, I must take a pause for the cause here. There are some beautiful people walking into the brass rail. We are downtown Detroit.
Don't get distracted. We got a show to do here.
But we are doing this show here down on Woodward. It's win or loss. It's a great time down here. So if you're in Detroit, come and join us. But you got to understand that the class that's at home, class in 2022, I don't love these quarterbacks. So I'm hoping that if we do end up with this number 1 pick, that we're trading down and out of it. But know who's out there, and this isn't like this year.
Right. Another tweet from Ghost of Sparky. The Bengals just put together a 95-yard drive. To this point, the Lions have 105 yards in offense. Hashtag one pride. Hashtag who needs offense.
I was just telling a Sparky Anderson story yesterday. I got a chance to meet him in Aruba out of nowhere. Told a funny joke, and he slapped the back of my neck 3 times like it's the 1920s. And it was like the greatest day of my life, getting the shit slapped out of me by Sparky Anderson, man. He's like, oh, Detroit, I love Detroit. All the beautiful women in Detroit.
Does Sparky have a hard slap?
He slapped the shit out of me, bro. I mean, like...
let's get to JC's tweet. It says, can Motor City Dan Campbell just tell the refs, this game's over. No sense in making my boys feel worse about themselves. Time to let them have their juice boxes and snacks. Hashtag one pride.
We were talking about...
I love the hashtag one pride on all of them, though. Know, right? It always gets me. It always gets me.
We were talking about getting pulled over by the cops last week and whether tears work or not. Do you think that he used those tears out there on the field today? Did he get any calls using those tears?
You know, I think a lot of people respected him for those tears like last week.
Yeah, way better than I expected.
Yeah, way better than I expected a ton of like random haters just to say he's soft and all that, but everybody kind of embraced it. But this week, what do you say? I mean, you spent your tears last week.
Yeah.
Like you can't go cry this week, even though you got your ass beat worse.
Hopefully it turns into anger, and then that turns into a win.
And that turns into the dark side. Let's go to Jason. Jason's tweet. The Lions on to the NFL draft, number 1 pick. I'm watching Stafford and the Rams the rest of the season.
Ooh.
No thanks. No thanks.
Cute.
Yeah, and I know that's your boy and all, but I'll never abandon ship on the Lions.
Stafford's not my boy. He was when he was in Honolulu Blue.
Yeah.
I'm just cognizant of the fact that he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
That was Jason Tackett. And make sure you follow us at Woodward Sports on all social media. And then if you want to tag us with a funny tweet, we'll bring them up. Marissa, this was about halftime. She goes, here we come, 0-6. And then put Dr. Evil up there talking to Mini-Me. And then Brian Wallace, not a winnable game left on the schedule. Let's discuss that. I thought that was an interesting tweet.
Yeah, I was just asked that outside prior to the postgame show here. I see 2 wins out of this team.
2. So we're down to 2.
Yeah, I started off with 5. So 2 out of 11, I'd be pretty happy to see that. Man, they are pouring in here over at the brass rail. It's wild. I really would love to see what this place is like with a win.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing when they finally win.
Yeah.
Rebuilding year. Why would we want to rewatch this disappointment? I'm going back to the Lions Facebook page right now, going through some of the comments.
So
we are headed to the first overall pick for Goff. We are headed to the backup spot, probably even behind David Blau. Do you think Goff will be a backup to David Blau? Oh, wait. And I'm sorry, I'm skipping all over the place because I'm getting distracted.
Does that hurt the team?
I mean, can you go worse than 0-6?
No.
Hey, answer your boy.
There he is. What's up, my man?
But anyways, back to talking about 0-17. Is there a winnable game on the schedule? I mean, Chicago at home, maybe?
Chicago looks better than we like to think they are.
Yeah.
Let me pull their schedule up here. I saw a good team in the first half today.
Right.
I've seen glimpses of a team that can absolutely win games. Can they put that together for 4 quarters? Can they make plays at big moments instead of giving it up or throwing it away or falling short at big moments?
Right.
And that's what this team has got to. They've got to do soon. They've got to learn how to do that. Otherwise, they're going to fall in line yet with all the other past Lion teams that are just absolutely amazing at learning how to find ways to lose.
Right.
Just the cleverest, most amazing, poetic ways.
Wouldn't that be amazing if we invented ways to win?
That's what I'm talking about, man.
We hit the 67-yard field goal to break the record.
Can we just bring back the gray and this color jerseys? Bro, we were bad in those jerseys.
I mean, we sucked in the black jerseys, but I liked them.
Yeah, but you remember when we threw the old school jerseys on?
Oh, yeah.
Those were
the pewter and blue.
We were ballers in those, man. I'd like to see us bring those back. I mean, it's like, what is it? Do we come back to the conversation about the Fords? Do we change our mascot and our logo? I mean, we thought that bringing in a regime of all of these big names and all of these coaches was going to make a difference. And so far through 6 games, we haven't seen it. But I still believe in this staff and this regime.
So do I. I mean, I think everybody and their brother knew this wasn't going to be a winning season no matter what. Like, even me in my optimistic ways, I had them losing 9 games out of the 17. So, like, even my best option was them having a losing record. And so if you thought this was going to be a successful season, I don't know what to tell you, but you got to understand that I think we're kind of looking at this a lot like we looked at the Pistons last year. By the end of the season, we want to see some growth. We want to see them competitive, right?
So what if our only win of the year is against the Rams?
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I'll take it because it'll at least help us in the pick.
And so we get them next week in LA. That's a 4 o'clock game. We'll be down here a little bit later next week.
Yeah.
So come and check us out. I anticipate this place being real fun at 7 p.m. After a Lions first win of the season.
Yeah, I say we get this place rocking next week too for the away game to start giving out some bottles and some pizza.
Yeah, load up a bus and crawl them down from Woodward.
I mean, it is crazy that here it is like 4:20 in the afternoon and people are popping bottles at Brass Rail just having a good time.
So to answer your question here, we have the Rams on the road next week. I don't like that game.
Yep.
The next 2 weeks I find very winnable. I don't like Philadelphia. They've got weapons, but I don't. I see that being a game that's winnable at home. And then we go to Pittsburgh. And the Steelers, as we know, have struggled heavily. They've got a lot of injuries. Their running game is something that's going to have to come through for them to be able to beat us, but I think that's another game that we can hang in.
Right.
After that, we get the Browns, the Bears, the Vikings, the Broncos, the Cardinals. I don't see another winnable game until the day after Christmas being the Falcons.
Here, you want to talk? Here, Sawyer, give him your headset. Slide him around here real quick. We'll slide over. So, yeah, here, come on, sit right here.
Come on, man, sporting a Calvin Johnson jersey.
He's got the Calvin Johnson jersey on. He was talking to Sawyer over there. What's your name, man?
Aaron Gither.
Where are you from?
I'm from Harbor Beach, Michigan.
All right. What'd you think of the Lions today?
They were ass.
Yeah, they were.
I hope that's okay to say.
Yeah, you can say ass.
Were you confident coming in today?
No, not even a little bit.
Are you confident for a win this year? And if so, on the schedule here, where do you see it coming?
You know what? I don't see any Lions wins coming.
Yeah, man.
No.
0-17, you're calling.
0-17, eh?
Yeah.
Damn, man.
They might get one, but I ain't.
So what was your feeling at the beginning of the season? What was the number of wins you thought the Lions had?
Coming in, I guesstimated 4.
4? Okay.
Yeah.
I was at 5. This guy was at 8.
I thought 8. I thought they could get 8.
No.
Because no.
No. I mean, I like Jared Goff, but he's no Stafford.
No, not at all.
I'm going to say that real quick.
Did you go to the game?
I was at the game.
And what was the feeling like in the game for the first half versus the second half?
It really wasn't. There was no difference.
There's no hope in the building?
No.
Never, huh?
No.
Man,
were there a lot of Bengals fans there? I saw a lot of Bengals fans.
There was a lot of Bengals fans.
Yeah, see,
yes.
That's the problem right now. Is Ford Field is not becoming like a benefit for us anymore because all the fans know that they're going to kick our ass when they come here, and they travel in droves.
For sure.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Baltimore fans here. We've seen a lot of Bengals fans. There was a lot of 49ers fans here. It's
you got some fans here.
Yeah,
I got some fans.
What's their names?
That's my girlfriend Rachel and her friend Madison.
All right, hi Rachel and Madison. Welcome. Well, welcome to the Brass Rail, man. Have a couple shots, have a couple drinks, and we'll be hanging out.
That's what we're here for.
Sure.
Yeah, here's
go Tom Brady.
Go Tom Brady. The GOAT, man.
Yeah, there it is. Take care, brother.
Nice to meet you, man.
Next podcast.
DJ Godfather. Happy birthday, Godfather. So, yeah, I mean, this is what we do at the Brass Rail. There's tons of people walking around. I like bringing in random people to talk about this stuff because it's always interesting to get, like, that guy's clearly drunk. He's been at the game all day. But he's still a Lions fan, and I think that's the camp that we're all in.
Yeah, and we heard it in the drill or the final moments of the game as we put up our 11th point and the place was going crazy like Tucker had missed the damn kick. And I guess that's a question. Are those 11 points a moral victory?
No. Not getting shut out's a moral victory.
Yep.
The shutout hurts more than but I don't know. Like, there's nothing good you could take away from this game. We did the same mistakes by letting down the field passes in the 2-minute warning. We weren't pressuring the quarterback like we should. Like, the weakness for the Bengals is definitely their line, and we didn't really exploit that today. But Okwara got his first sack, and we got that on video, so we got that going for us, which is nice. Sorry you want to show Okwara getting Joe Burrow?
This was one of the few plays of the day that we finished.
Yeah.
Over and over again, we left plays on the field.
Right.
I've seen us nearly get to the quarterback over and over and over again over 6 weeks and not finish plays.
Right.
Third downs, not finishing them. Or even on a 3rd and 7, giving up 6 yards to the point where a team is willing to go for it on 4th and 1, get a 40-yard touchdown.
Right.
Team has got to learn those moments. Got to learn those damn moments. It's frustrating because, as much as you expect it, when you're a Lions fan, it doesn't make the loss any easier.
Goff must be released is a comment right now by Roland G. So you can't release him; it'll kill your salary cap, right?
He's already killing our salary cap, but he's also killing our team. and he's a lame duck quarterback that's not part of our future. He's holding us back. So what's the harm in seeing what's out there? I bet there's a legitimate young quarterback that we could at least take a look at for a 5th or 6th round pick.
It is crazy how many people are going nuts on Goff right now.
I'd rather have Tyrod Taylor. Would you?
Oh yeah, I'd take Tyrod Taylor over Goff
all day long.
I didn't necessarily hate Goff either, but he's missing a lot of wide open wide receivers. And Dan Campbell even alluded to it during a press conference this past week. They were saying, what can you do to keep the offense on the field? And he goes, don't turn the ball over. And it's not a direct shot, but that's a direct shot.
But at the same point, control the field.
Yeah.
And when you're off, I believe right before I got here, so through 3 quarters, we had 6 first downs.
Ouch.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Should have 6 first downs on a damn drive.
Who was your player of the game, Anson?
Your boy Joe Mixon.
Mixon?
Well, no, I take that back. It's got to be Joe Burrow. He controlled the flow of the game. Puts up 300 or 271 yards, nearly 300 yards. Last time I looked, 19 of 29 passes, 3 touchdowns. Only turned the ball over once. But he got the ball to his playmakers.
Right.
He finds Evans, an exciting young back, early on in the game. He sticks with a great disguise play in that 4th and 1 to get the ball to Mixon. And then he says, I got a guy in Jamar Chase I'm going to get the rock to. And he did it over and over again at key moments.
Right.
He didn't force the rock to him all day long. He got it to him in key moments. But then T. Higgins, there was a safety valve for him that he was peppering all day long. Joe Burrow looked the real deal to me.
I got to go with our boy Jack Fox again. He had 17 punts on the game. He's leading the team in yardage, field position. We got nothing, man. Honestly, on the Lions side of the ball, there is no one you could name player of the game. Not one person.
How'd your fantasy team do?
Decent. 1-1, and it's just be decided between me and you.
Yep.
I think you got a little bit of advantage on me right now, but in my Woodward League, kicking that ass.
Is that all you have as a football fan from the city of Detroit? Is fantasy football?
I hope not. Well, yeah.
For 10 years, I bet against the Lions every game, and it paid off really, really well. So between fantasy and betting against the Lions, is that all we have, man?
It certainly appears that way. We do have the brass rail, and We got at least that girl in the golf jersey's twerking.
Yeah, the brass rails.
She's probably the best thing to happen to a golf jersey in a long time.
You know, God bless Detroit fans, because win or lose, we have a good time, man.
Yeah, love to bring that girl over. Hey, Jim Beam in the building. Uh-oh, he's got some stuff for us. My play of the game, though. Oh, the Scully, man. Look at that. Shout out to Jim Beam. Handing out hats. Oh, nice. Made in Kentucky, enjoyed in Michigan. That's dope. So my play of the game, let's play it again. The Joe Mixon 40-yard touchdown. And the reason I picked this, obviously the field goal to not get shut out was probably the Lions' play of the game. But for Joe Mixon, the blocking downfield was amazing on this. And it could very well be
allowed to do this?
Jamar Chase. Yeah, you're good to represent. So what a touchdown for Mixon.
Shout out to Jim Beam, brass rail.
Thank you, guys. And you have to start Blau against the Rams. They know Goff too well. Let's face it, Goff is not doing well anymore. Do you think this is the last time you start Goff if he does well?
No, they're not going to signal the white flag for a while, and that's what Goff, sitting Goff is a big part of that. The other thing is Goff is the leader out there,
right?
And in a situation where you need all the leadership that you can get, I kind of think pulling Goff at this point really might create more chaos than anything productive.
Right. I mean, I'm to the point where why not? You can always throw Goff back in, right? But I think this game against the Rams is his, hey, man, this is your do-or-die moment. If you can't get it done here, this is your old team. You should know their tendencies. You should help us coach through this game.
I think that game's the Rams. You got to let him play the Rams.
You have to.
You got to let him play the Rams.
He's got to start next week no matter what.
You can't let Blau... Listen, he's going to go out there and play his ass off, or he's going to embarrass himself. Period. And at that point, he's gonna decide his own future.
Signed Shane Falco is one of them.
I think that there's a bunch of quarterbacks out there that we could take a look at. There's a bunch of wide receivers out there like N'Keal Harry that can be had for not a lot. And it's not about finding a piece that you're going to have for 3 years. It's about finding a little bit of glue to hold this thing together so they can get through the year.
Right. Sawyer, can you do me a favor and just turn your camera around real quick? Just show these ladies dancing on each other. There you go. Just nice and slow. There we go. So we got some people partying at the brass rail right now, and those girls have Goff jerseys on. So as much as we want to talk trash about Goff, he's inspiring young ladies to get drunk and come out and party.
They like those handsome blonde quarterbacks.
Brass rail after party for each and every Lions home game.
What is the deal with girls and handsome blonde quarterbacks?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a party down here.
I have a feeling you were a lot closer to a handsome blonde quarterback in high school than I was.
I played tight end and defensive end.
Yeah?
So yeah, I wanted to be a quarterback, but we had a kid that was all world, so there was no chance.
Tell me a play that you remember, like when you were your best.
My best plays came in Little League, bro. I got to go way back for good plays.
I want to hear about a defensive end bone-crushing tackle out of
I never really had that glory moment.
No?
Never had it. Yeah.
Catch any touchdowns?
Not in high school, no. No, it all goes back to Little League football is where my glory days were. When I was 12, I was a monster.
I'm looking forward to the Tigers' return. But the only Tigers we're talking about today are Bengals, unfortunately.
So do you think the most Lions thing for them to do is come out and win next week against LA? Because that's it. This is the season for the Lions. It's like Michigan, Ohio State when Michigan's won nothing.
This next week is like Michigan State 20 years ago going into Ann Arbor. Period. If you can win that one game, everything else is forgiven. Now, let's say we were 2-4 going in there, that win wouldn't mean a whole lot.
Right.
But where we are right now with 0-6 and talk, because I promise you, this Jared Goff getting jettisoned talk is going to be all over town and all over the national media. But you got to give him this retribution opportunity, right?
You at least got to give him his shot.
Yeah.
If you pull him before this game, it's you're like almost like ripping out his heart at some point. Like, this is the one game you got to let him play, period.
It really is. And he might really be fucking lucky that it's on the 8th or the week 7 because he might have been gone, man. He might have been gone right after this matchup. So
just want to go over some stats, just to kind of look at the final stats of this game. Lions 228 total yards, Bengals 398, almost 400 yards. They had 256 passing. We had 192. They had 142 rushing. We had 36. Wah wah wah. First downs 20 to 15.
I was a lot more. How many did we get?
15 first downs.
We did, huh?
Yeah, but that all came in.
9 of those came in the fourth quarter when we were down 34-0. Or 27.
Penalties, we had 9 for 77 yards, which is also a problem.
That's got to end.
And then time of possession, they absolutely dominated us. 35 minutes or 36 minutes pretty much to 24.
And you know that a large portion of that possession came on those final 2 drives.
So I said, if you don't start Goff, you're going to rip his heart out. So I was like, well, rip his heart out. Good riddance.
No, but that's one of those things where, you give somebody just enough space to ruin it for themselves, and bro, this is your moment, Jared Goff.
Right.
If you want to salvage your career, this is the game. You're upset about the way things happened in L.A., this is your game.
Yeah, you want to prove to them that they shouldn't have let you go? I mean, it's kind of tough to convince them at this point, the way Matthew Stafford's playing. And shout out to DJ Godfather.
There he is.
And a happy birthday to him. It was his birthday yesterday. So, we're down at the Brass Rail right here in Detroit for every Lions postgame. Win or lose, you can come here and have a good time. They give out bottles, they have booths, they have pizza, which is absolutely delicious.
The pizza's really crowded.
I had the barbecue chicken pizza today.
Yeah.
Chronic, very good. Me and Sawyer had some. Rams are going to win by 53. That's what Woe says. 0-17, and the kneecaps are still intact? Question mark?
So, I mean...
Yeah, we're a long way from those kneecaps comments, aren't we?
Every bad Lions game, in my recollection, always had one game that they shouldn't win that they won. Is this the one?
I mean, that's, like I said, that's the most Lions thing that you can do. Corey Woods, our Lions insider, is live at the Dan Campbell press conference right now. Says Dan Campbell is pissed.
Okay, that's what I said. He's going to be angered today.
So it went from sadness for his players to just absolutely pissed.
Yep. And then, what comes after that? Apathy.
Apathy? He's just not going to give a damn? I can't see that out of Dan. If the Lions break Dan Campbell's spirit year 1, is that like the largest fall of emotion that you've ever seen for the Lions?
That's one pride football. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I love the guy when he came in, and I don't want to see him lose his spark.
One pride, baby.
I don't want to see him lose his energy,
I don't either.
But how long can you carry on that message when you're getting your teeth kicked in?
For sure.
That's the thing. It's one thing if it's a competitive, close game.
Let's be real.
It's quite another when it's 34-11 to the effing Bengals.
Let's be real. These guys didn't know Detroit when they brought a guy like Jared Goff to come in here and be a bridge lame duck quarterback. That guy doesn't have the mental fortitude and the nuts to be able. You're right, but neither one of they biffed it on this guy. This guy doesn't have the balls or the moxie to come in to Detroit and succeed. Detroit is like being a quarterback in Detroit is being like a pitcher in New York, man. It's a dangerous situation, and you got to have an extra special set of nuts to be able to pull it off.
Well, he showed the bravado in the beginning, but it's going to be interesting to see how that tapers off. Like, what would break my heart is seeing a broken Dan Campbell. And I know we saw him crying last week, and that's pretty broken. But I mean, like you said, an apathetic Dan Campbell.
There's 2 dudes that the Lions haven't broke, and they retired.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say me. They haven't broke me yet. I'm still here. And so is everybody in the chat.
And so is everybody in the brass rail. It is getting loose in here. We are right down right near the stadiums on Woodward, and we will be here each and every game for the Lions and the post game. But win or lose, this place is going off. Today is going off. The weather has got the perfect little recipe for some fun today. Not for a win, though.
Poor Corey Woods, who still has to cover the Lions for WSN. Corey's living the dream, man. He went to Lambeau. He's going to away games. Like, he just talked to Dan Campbell. Like,
it's so awesome when a diamond is just pulled out of the rough. With a relatively complete unknown, like, he is fantastic.
That's all Chad, man. Chad found him. Chad Johnson found him when Chad had like season tickets for the Lions, and he had the field passes for one game or something like that. And Corey was a photographer. This is a great story. Corey was a photographer. Chad's boys with Bill Bentley. They were standing together there on the sidelines. Corey came up, snapped the picture, introduced himself, and that was like 2 years ago when Woodward Sports started getting going. He was the first name out of Chad's mouth. Like, hey, I met this kid. I really liked him. And the rest is history. So, yeah, tip of the cap to Chad. And, like, having that memory and to know that you want to bring him. Uh-oh, they're bringing out the bottles.
Yeah, they are.
Sparklers and all.
Win or loss, baby.
Win or lose, baby. Love it. Absolutely love it.
One of the things that I really appreciate about Corey is in a time where people are results of vanilla takes and, walk, kind of edge the line without going over it because they're worried about upsetting people. He is very vocal in his passion and perspective, and he's able to do it instead of in an insightful way, he does it in an inclusive way.
Yeah.
And he's able to reach people that have different opinions and different backgrounds, and able to open their minds to a different perspective. And I think that's really, really paramount and important in today's journalism, whether it's sports or politics or whatever, because he does touch a little bit of all of it.
Yeah, well, he's authentic, and that's what you want. Like, you're never going to get a puff piece out of Corey.
No.
Like, you're just going to get the straight heat, and I love that. I can't wait to see what he says about Dan Campbell after this press conference.
We save our puff pieces for the My Canacast.
The puff pass pieces.
See what I did there?
Next week, what do you think? What are the odds of the Lions winning against the Rams?
Are we asking the analyst Anson or the fan Anson?
Your real Anson.
We're going to lose.
It's
going to be a competitive game, though. We're going to surprise everybody. I will say this. I like your money on the Lions to cover. How about that?
You like them to cover.
I don't even know what the spread is. I would imagine
I think
the spread's got to be 10 points, right?
Oh, way more than that.
I would imagine
if the Lions aren't 2 touchdown underdogs next week, I'd be shocked.
No way. You think?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh my gosh.
I'd say a 10.5 at least.
So Corey's still texting. He said, "Okay, I'm going to upload a video of the full presser. Towards the end of the audio, he nuked, N-U-K-E-D, all caps, Jared Goff. Need to get that up."
So maybe we don't see him next week.
I mean, the word nuked is pretty, like...
It's pretty hot. It's a pretty hot term.
Wow. So, now knowing that...
I still think you got to let him play that game, man.
And what, just get destroyed by Aaron Darnold?
I mean, like, as a human being, you have to understand these types of moments. That's a lifetime moment for Jared Goff, that game. Like, you can either end this kid's career against the Bengals or give him an opportunity against his alma mater and say, hey, the ball's in your hands, kid. This is your career. This is your game. You can go off and hold a clipboard for the rest of your life, or you can
Do you think he has any trade value left at this point? Like, if we could get anything for him?
Not with his contract.
Yeah, but what about Houston?
I mean, well, think about it. The Rams had to give us a first-round pick just to take
2.
him.
They gave us 2.
Yeah.
We got him in 2 first-round picks.
Happening.
I mean, Deshaun Watson and him kind of have similar contracts.
All day long, baby.
Huh?
All day long. Guilty until proven innocent. Let's win some ball games.
Oh, man. Yeah, Corey keeps texting how bad he was, so I can't wait to see these.
To be honest with you, that's a really intriguing trade because that doesn't hurt either team. He doesn't ever have to play a game for us.
Yeah.
And we don't look bad. And Goff is going to be a better, is he? I don't know. Is he better? Davis Mills?
I don't know.
Is he a better option? I'd rather have Davis Mills if I was...
Davis Mills? Here?
No, I'm saying if I'm in Houston, I would rather see what Davis Mills has and let the saga with Watson play out than try and push in a guy like Goff on a contract like that into an already bad team.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, you got to start looking. If he's eviscerating him in press conferences, that means the honeymoon period is over.
Well,
it's over.
Sure, but at the same time, I mean, last week we saw some emotional antics to, try and stir his team, whether they were planned or completely spur of the moment. So who's to say that this isn't another psychological play to try and get the most out of his quarterback?
I get it.
In a major game.
Last week, though, you could see why it would be a heartbreak. This week, I don't know why. Like, Dan Campbell doesn't seem like the type of guy that would single out a guy just to destroy him.
But if you're a quarterback, do you nuke a guy and then sit him? Or do you nuke a guy and then give him the one last opportunity?
Yeah, maybe he's trying to coach him hard or something.
I think it's a psychological play, and it's all he has left at this point.
It's time for the Blau train. Choo-choo! That's what Mike G's saying right now. Cass Tech has a better chance of beating the Rams. Cass Tech, they lost to King on Friday night. We called that game. If you want to go on our YouTube page and watch it, that was a great game.
Yeah, you told me that.
The King quarterback.
15 or something?
15 at halftime.
Wow.
The quarterback for Martin Luther King, that kid, he's number 3 in the nation, number 1 in Michigan. Jim Harbaugh was at that game doing a lot of recruiting.
He hasn't committed yet.
No, not yet.
Okay. Go Green.
He's a junior.
Go Green.
Yeah, it's like Alabama, Michigan. Like, he could just choose where he wants to go. But yeah, I mean, I would take that kid from King. like, let's try it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we are live at the Brass Rail. This is where we do each and every Lions post game. We start at the 2-minute warning. Didn't have much excitement this one.
Can I drop a hot college take real quick?
Go ahead.
Corn and Blue loses next week to completely destroy what would have been the greatest Michigan State matchup in 50 years.
You think they're going to lose? Who they play? Northwestern?
This is like the first time in 2 decades that I've hoped that Corn and Blue, that the Wolverines would win.
Yeah, I was going to say, clarify what Corn and Blue is, because when you say it fast, it's like Corn and Blue.
B-L-E-W is in past tense because they are a past tense
Anson
program.
hates Michigan, so he calls them corn, like maize,
but
and
yes,
blue.
So I wouldn't that be a terrible thing to see them dump that game against Northwestern? Because, man, I would love to see those two teams undefeated in 2 weeks. Unbelievable Michigan football about to take place. At least we have that.
I want to see him go. Like I went to University of Detroit. We don't have a football team. I want those both Michigan State to be undefeated when they clash.
Oh, dude!
And we're going to be up there in East Lansing.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to be doing a live broadcast. We'll reveal where that is later on this week. But it's a big bar there. We're going to have a lot of fun. I can't wait. Let's see. Cowboys just scored. Yep. Dak Prescott threw a touchdown. So this is where we do the Lions post game each and every Sunday, really. Next week, a little later on. So, yeah, hopefully if you're down here on Sundays, or make a point of it. Next week, just plan on coming to the Brass Rail. Watch the entire game with us. And then at the 2-minute warning, while we're playing the Rams, we'll kick off. We'll bring you on the air. You can talk with us like the one drunk guy that we had on earlier. But, yeah, overall, it's just a great time down here at the Brass Rail. Thank you guys for being a part of the post-game show. I'm going to go get some beverages, relax.
Yeah. Good luck to your fantasy team
drown my sorrows, but yeah, thank you, Sawyer, for doing the producing. And Anson, next week, the Rams, baby.
I'm in, baby.
All right. Have a great Sunday, Detroit. We will talk to you next week.